And now, another episode of MMA Gossip with your boys.
Boom, we are live, baby. It is MMA Gossip, episode number 74. We're recording on a late night. It is what time? 8:30, 9 o'clock at night on a Thursday. Usually we do a midday on a Wednesday. We're slacking, but we're just rolling with the punches, boys. Just like TJ Dillashaw is going to be doing this fucking weekend against, wow. Against, what's his name? Fucking Corey Sandhagen. I'm pumped. I'm just blanking out like TJ Dillashaw did at 125 because his brain was so dehydrated. But anyways, we're rolling on episode 74, MMA Gossip. Thank you so much for the views, the likes, the comments, the subscriptions, the whole nine. Go on our most recent picture and tag Dylan Dennis. It's a picture of Mike back in the high school days. His hair looks pretty much exactly the same. Winning gold medals, just like MMA Gossip always fucking does, bro. That's what Daisy Fresh does. That's their logo. It's just like this. But anyways, like, comment, and subscribe. Help the boys out. TJ Dillashaw is going down this weekend fighting Corey Sandhagen in his comeback fight. 2-year suspension off EPO. What's going to happen? A lot of question marks. We'll get into that. Bellator next weekend. I already have fucking goosebumps thinking about it. AJ McKee has been promoting the shit out of it on his Instagram. He's fighting Patricio Pitbull for the belt, featherweight Grand Prix. I am horny for that fight. Literally cannot wait. We got bare knuckle fighting championship going down tomorrow. Paige Van Zant, Rachel Ostovich fighting for the OnlyFans belt. The unwritten OnlyFans belt. We got fucking Britain, whatever the fuck her name is, married to Joey Beltran, which is blowing my mind. I literally still can't grasp that. Also shout out to Callum Bisping, Michael Bisping's son. He's a wrestler and he's like doing big things. I forget where Bisping said he's going, but I saw him running hills. He ran 4 miles uphill yesterday while stopping, fighting for double underhooks, doing push-ups, jump squats, the whole nine, training his ass off. So shout out to Callum, doing what his dad never wanted to do and do some wrestling, mixing some wrestling. So shout out to him, shout out to boys at MMA Gossip, and a major shout out to Kale Brusso and Elise Reed, who she's making her debut this weekend. She's going to take Sajara Eubanks. We're slamming that plus 290. Mike got her at plus 185, so you know we're hammering that plus 290. Team Dillashaw, Team Reed, Team Brusso, Team MMA Gossip. Like, comment, subscribe. Help the boys out. You already know what it is.
Yo, yeah. As soon as I saw that line come out, I was like, Elise Reed, click, place bet. Let's go, Elise. I didn't think the line would move this much, guys. I mean, like, since we're talking about it real quick, like right now, we got to give Elise Reed a lot of credit because no one was stepping in to fight Sarge at late notice. It was supposed to be Priscilla Cachoeira. She's coming down from 135. We know she has tremendously bad weight cuts. She has a history of it, and I wouldn't be surprised if she missed weight tomorrow, but we know Elise Reed is going to step up to that plate no matter what, take that 20-30% purse and take that W and put another L on Sajara Eubanks' record and make her literally a 500 fighter. Let's get it. There's no reason why she should be minus, I think, 380, 390. It's absurd. It's absurd.
Dude, I think it's just name value. People like know Sarge is a household name. The whole thing with Tough. Obviously, she missed weight, so she couldn't fight in the finale. And she just, she's really good friends with Caitlin Chikagian. And, no such thing as bad publicity, but she like beat her girlfriend. That was all over the place. So like, she has a lot of publicity around her. People know her name, and not a lot of people know Elise Reed's name. But I really, truly think after this weekend, a lot of people are going to know her name. And dude, I think it's so cool seeing Elise eating rice and steak and this, that, the other thing, French toast. It's just like literally gaining weight one day before weigh-ins, just eating. And she looks great, dude. She looks in amazing shape from her Instagram, from what Kale's posting. So I'm fucking pumped, dude. Tomorrow, my heart's gonna be racing for like 6 hours tomorrow. I'm gonna go into EFIB.
Yeah.
I just put $100 on her.
Or AFib, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, you don't see fighters very rarely have to put on weight, but like at least the badass that she is taking this late fight. No, when Dana calls, you don't ignore the phone call. You pick up, you say yes, and let's be real.
Win, lose, or draw, we got to get her back on.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, for a first fight in the UFC coming off a CFFC, like this is a massive fight. And if she could win, and literally she just inserts herself inside, whether she goes back down to 115, which I'm assuming she's going to, she puts herself right in divisions, right in the middle of the pack, ready to go. All right, guys, moving on. We got a pretty decent card this Saturday. I'm pumped out about it. It starts at 4:00, so you know that we won't be going to bed too late. But it's my little brother's graduation party, so I'll be over there, hanging out with him, boozing up, and getting ready for the fights at 4:00. So, New Jersey native Julio Arce taking on Andre Ewell. This is a good fight. It's a good fight. I've been notoriously against Ewell in every single fight. I've been on the wrong side of a few decisions with him. I thought Jonathan Martinez beat him, but so did the world, but the judges didn't.
So you and everybody else who watched the fight.
Exactly. So I'm just going to automatically pick Arce off of, principle here. What do you guys think?
I agree. I mean, we were just talking about this before the podcast started up, and I originally said Ewell, then I thought about his last couple fights, and he's either like losing decisively or barely winning a split decision, and I don't really want to sit through that. Who did I say Arce went to split decision with, and then I retracted it right away because I realized that guy's I don't put much stock in that anymore either because Dawodu sucks. But I'm definitely going with Arce here. I just he's got really good stand up. I just feel like he gasses and there's really nothing behind his punches. He's gonna go with Arce here. I don't like the line though. I don't think he should be minus 200. I think that's pretty expensive for him.
What was that look, Mike?
I'm back at my dad's place because it's easier for my commute tomorrow. And usually I have great internet at my house, but Matt lagged out a little bit. So I'm getting like those, PTSD of those flashbacks where the Wi-Fi is like tripping out on me. So Matt, I'm getting a little bit of feedback on your end. I don't know what it is. But I
heard him good. So hopefully everyone listening heard him good. We're still three fucking morons. Like we're 74 episodes deep. If you paid us $100 to set up our setup when we're in person in 10 minutes, we would lose $100. We still can't fucking do it. We're technologically morons. So if any sponsors out there want to help us out, expedite the process, whatever it might be, help the boys out. I'm not going to reiterate what you guys just went through. What I will say, fun fact, did you guys see what Ewell was saying about him stopping a car? Did you see this?
I saw the article. I scrolled by it, but I didn't read it.
So basically him and his friend were walking down the street and I watched like a 3-minute clip of the interview, and basically moral of the story, Andre Ewell said he's like Superman and people witnessed it and there was bystanders. He says he has witnesses to it. He literally stopped a moving car with his hand, and he said that you can see his handprint on the hood of the car. Like superhuman strength, like one of those like adrenaline things.
Yeah,
where he stopped the car. And he said it actually affected his training a little bit because I think he had a fight scheduled. Who was it against? It wasn't against. I wanted to say Stamen, but it wasn't Stamen. Who the fuck was he supposed to fight? Because Stamen's 135. Who the fuck was it? He had a fight booked. Right now. He had a fight booked. I'm trying to think. I'm thinking.
It was Cody. It was Cody.
Okay. For some reason, I think it was, but okay. He had that fight booked and he had to pull out of that like soreness and shit. But I just thought I'd throw it out there because I thought that was pretty interesting. But yeah, I like Will. I follow him on Instagram. He's actually a funny follow. I don't mean this in a racist way. I got to preface that whole thing, and he would be the first to agree with me, so I feel comfortable saying it. But he does like the whole black thing really well. Like he almost reminds me of Chris Tucker from Rush Hour, where the stereotypical black thing, he like embraces it. He's always dancing and like doing this thing and like embellishing it more and more, posting memes on his story. He's actually a really funny Instagram follow. So I actually really like him as a person. So I like to see him do well, but I can't go against a New Jersey native here,
You might have just sold him on another follower.
Chris, can you turn down the volume a little bit on your phone?
Yeah.
Word.
Up or down?
Down a little bit because I'm getting feedback from all angles. So this will be
now.
I heard it when I was talking there too. I hear what you mean.
Yeah, next week when I'm back at my place, the Wi-Fi is solid, so this ain't gonna happen again. All right, we got the stacked card, man. I got a hot take on this fight. Adrian Yanez. Little game bread, people are calling him, going up against Randy Costa. It's Dr. Pepper versus Reese's Pieces or Reese's whatever. That's like the whole narrative going into this fight. Two young hype prospects going into this fight. Costa is big underdog here, but I'm taking him. I think that he can, make some waves here. What do you guys think? This is a big
I
fight.
don't have any reason to pick him at all, aside from you want to go against the grain. We haven't seen anything to suggest otherwise, in my opinion. I'm actually considering making him my lock. That's how much I disagree with that.
Maddie, 250 locks.
I mean, he's not that high, isn't he?
I think he's like minus 240, 230.
I have the odds right in front of me. Let's
Who are we talking about? Sorry, I was trying. Am I better now? Is my sound better?
Yeah, it's better. He's 225 pretty much everywhere.
Who?
Giannis.
Giannis over Costa. You're picking Giannis over Costa, so I'm just gonna jump in while Matt's looking for the line. I'm going with Costa on this one. I fucking like him, dude. Giannis is he's really fucking good, and he's really scary, and he hits really hard. And Mike just made me really horny, and I just like Randy Costa. I think I like what he has to offer. I think he has power. I saw MMA by the numbers. Again, shout out to them as always. Shout out to him, I should say, as always. Posted a cool stat team. Like, he is like the quickest fighter to X amount of knockdowns in the weight division. And they moved that fight to the main card. You know it's going to be a banger. And I just think that, again, it's one of those fights where they're already writing Costa off. Like, this is a Yanez win and on to the next one. And that's it. Like, they're just progressing him. And Yanez is that good. So if he wins, good for fucking him. But I'm riding with Costa.
Me too, bro. I got a bet. This is my first bet of the night here, and I'm ready for it, man. Like you said, everyone's writing him off right away. It's like I saw this crazy stat too. It's like Randy Costa has a total of like 11 minutes of fight time or something, like maybe 15 minutes of fight time, and Giannis has got like 2 hours because he's LFA vet, all this that. But I mean, Giannis, we haven't really seen him on the ground. We haven't really seen him like pushed. Randy Costa is going to come hard, and my second bet I have on this fight is over 1.5. I think this is going to be a long fight, extended fight. I think it's going to be a war, and I think it's going to decision. And the whole narrative you know how it is when narratives go into the fight, it never plays out that way. And Vegas knows that. So they keep the line steady, so I'm ready for it. Let's go Costa. Matt, I know you like Giannis. Anything else?
Going to be a loser on Saturday right away.
You just want me to lose my money. Ian Heinisch going up against Nasruddin Imavov. Wow, this fight sucks mostly because they both suck. I'm gonna pick Imavov because I just think Heinisch sucks. So I have nothing other than that.
Analysis tonight is off the charts.
It doesn't matter. All it matters is if we're right or wrong. And if you guys know, we're on a 4-week winning streak here, so it don't matter what the analysis says.
Well, no, man. I think I'm gonna go with Heinisch here. What's his name's last loss to? Iminov.
He lost to Phil Hawes' decision.
Iminov.
I mean, losing. That fight was what's it called? He came back late in that fight, right? Phil Hawes dominated like a round in 75% of the second round, and then he lost the majority decision. But I remember he decisively lost the first, but he was going to get finished. I don't know. I could see Heinisch implementing similar wrestling, probably having just about the same level of gas tank. It's going to be close, but I trust Heinisch in his wrestling here to do a lot like Phil Hawes did in his fight against them.
Just like his wrestling did against Kevin Gastelum when he said his wrestling was going to be the difference.
I ended up betting Kelvin Gastelum. So,
dude, and for you to do that, that says a lot. I like Heinisch. I still have somewhat faith in him. I hope this is better. I actually put one of my dog's plush toys underneath my phone to try to keep the sound like a little, I don't know what. But anyway,
sounds good.
I think Heinisch is a little bit more well-rounded, and I think he's fought higher level opponents. Well, I know he's fought higher level opponents, so I'm just going to trust that the well-roundedness and the fact that he's got more veteran level experience. I'll ride with him in this one. What are the odds on it? I haven't looked at it.
Plus 130 for Imavov.
Okay, yeah, that seems about right.
I think it's right. Yeah.
I'll take Heinisch on that one. He might be one of my picks, honestly, just because. Yeah, Imavov is a little bit greener, and I think Heinisch, the vet level experience, the guys he's fought, even though he lost those fights, he still fought those guys, been in there with those guys, learned those guys' tricks. Like Jim, like people who said to us, what's his name said it to us when he's fighting Jim Miller.
Selecki.
He said that he like Jim Miller had those tricks, right? Just from being a veteran for so long and like getting a win over him, no matter how he gets the win, he takes that from him in a way. I feel like Heinisch in those losses still got stuff out of those losses that he could implement in this fight.
My thing is, I just think like everyone's like, oh, Imavov got controlled up against the fence against Hawes, so that's what's going to happen here. It's like, it's not that simple. You know,
Have you seen Phil Hawes?
Yeah, I just think that, I don't know, Heinisch is so average. He's so average. And I'm not saying Imavov is good. He's got a couple, some decent striking, but I don't know. We'll see. It's a dumpster fire. Fuck this fight. On to the next one. Here we go. Friend of the show, Brandon, all in. Allen got in on him at plus 100, going against Punalele Soriano. Yeah. So, I mean, I think this fight is not going the distance. So it's going to be a knockout for Soriano or maybe a ground and pound or sub for
Brendan Allen.
And I'm just going to roll with the more experienced guy and the more, I would say he's a specialist on the ground as opposed to Soriano, who just seems kind of like a banger on the feet. So I'm sure we're all on the same side here.
Maddie? Oh, God.
Matt.
I'm going with Brendan Allen, but I wouldn't be surprised if he got starched.
Asterisk.
I'm with you on that, Matt. Honestly, like we saw Brendan Allen get really, truly exposed on the feet, big time.
I think he falls in love with the stand-up too much. Like you have, like Mike said, you have a clear advantage. Just fucking go to it right away. Don't even fuck around.
Well, that's what it is, dude. He does have a clear advantage. So this is one of those fights. It's a scary bet. And Mike, I would take Brendan Allen plus money 1,000 times out of 1,000. You know what I mean? Almost, honestly, no matter who he was fighting, really outside the top 10, really. But Soriano can bang, and Dana White the thing that scares me a little bit is Dana White put it on his, if you don't know, now you know, and was hyping up Soriano's finishes. And usually when they do that, like, they're trying to promote one fighter one way. Brendan Allen is a higher level opponent than Soriano has fought. But he does have such a clear advantage in grappling department. Like, bang it out on the feet if you want for the first, minute or two. Don't stay there too long because Soriano's looking for that first round finish. He's looking for that highlight reel. He's looking for the 50K. So Brendan Allen, get in there and go walk in the octagon with your Venom singlet on, and let's get it going, baby. Get that sub early and often. We'll be rooting for you 100%, but it is a scary fight for him because Soriano's going to be throwing hands early and often. And we've seen Brendan Allen, like I said, been a little suspect on the feet. But again, he's working at Sanford. So, like, come on. He's getting better. I saw him post a picture the other day with Derek Brunson. That Derek Brunson's, this elite striker, but he's been in the top 10 for 100 fucking years fighting everybody. So that can only rub off Luke Rockhold. Like, you're sparring good fucking dudes. So he's definitely has the experience and definitely has, like we said, the significant advantage on the ground. So use your fucking advantage.
Yeah, I do think he's getting a lot better because even though the Baby K fight was really short, he had a few good exchanges with Roberson, and Roberson is a good stand-up fighter. So, I mean, he's getting better.
He fucked him up.
Heel hook. All right, Mickey Gall, everyone's favorite fighter, going up against Jordan Williams. Jordan Williams is cutting down to 170, even though that he's a diabetic. They found a way to do it the right way. So their fight is at 170. More power to him. I think I've said this for a while. I bet on Diego Sanchez against Mickey Gall. I think Mickey Gall is pretty bad.
Fraud.
I think Jordan Williams isn't that great either, but I'm going to pick him here to be the tougher guy to win the fight. He's more grit,
Yeah, I don't need to reiterate anything Mike just said. I have no faith in Mickey Gall to beat anybody outside of CM Punk. And Jordan Williams is just going to bully him. I think Mickey Gall is never, ever, ever going to hurt somebody in the feet. Like, it's not going to fucking happen. And until
unless you're Sage Northcutt.
Unless you're Sage Northcutt. Jesus Christ, I forgot about that. What a fucking loser. I just have no faith in Mickey Gall. He's fucking sick. Is he 6-3? Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Whatever. I
don't really care about this
fight. Jordan Williams.
Sorry, Matt. I thought you were done. Yeah, we're all on the same page here, man. I don't like Matt said. I don't need to reiterate it. If again, I'll just say this. I'll just sprinkle the fun facts. You guys do the analysis. I'll just do a little sprinkle of fun facts in there. They actually bumped that fight off the main card to fit Yanez and Costa on the main card, which I think is a fucking awesome move. So that says it all, folks. Mickey Gall was on the main card because he's got name recognition. He fought CM Punk. A lot of people fucking know him. Like when he fought Matt's favorite fighter, Mike Perry, it was again name value, and Mike Perry could get a win here. So I think it's just another one of those fights. I don't think either one of them, not building off this fight. So I almost said Mike Perry, but Mike Perry's not going anywhere either. But Mickey Gall certainly isn't going anywhere, and yeah, they're bumped down to the prelims, and Yanez and Costa is on the fucking main card. So that's all you need to know.
All you need to know. Macy Barber going up against Fear the Maverick, Miranda Maverick. And everybody knows if you watch this.
Mike wants to fuck her.
I got a weird spot for Miranda Maverick, but I'm going against her here. I got Macy Barber. Is coming back from shadow boxing 10 feet away. Alexa Grasso. She's getting closer to her opponent this Saturday, and then she's going to whoop that ass. I am not believing that. I mean, like everyone was on Barber. Now everyone's off Barber. So everyone's trying to fade her. I think this is the perfect time to get back on there. I think Maverick is good. I picked her to beat Jillian Robertson, but I think she's going to be one of these fighters that beats certain levels and then doesn't necessarily perform well against others. And I think Macy's just going to win based off toughness, grit, power, confidence. We'll see. I got a bet on her. So we'll see how that comes through. But I know Matt is definitely going with my girl, Maverick. What do you think, Chris?
Matt's going Maverick. Why, Matt?
Am I muted?
No,
I don't know, man. After that Grasso fight, Grasso's coming up a weight class, and Barber just tried her usual bully method against a girl that she was drastically bigger than, and it didn't work at all. Mike's right. She did kind of take over in the third round a bit, but she's really young still. She already went through a pretty fucking brutal injury. She's still coming off of 2 losses. And I don't think Miranda Maverick is really a walk in the park at all. Like me and Mike were talking about it earlier. Like she's definitely more technical. She's probably the better wrestler. It's just, will she get bullied in there? And I don't know, man. I'm not saying Macy Barber is a bust by any stretch of the imagination. Like I just said, she's still really young, but I need to see more out of her before I have her beating somebody that I think pretty highly of in Miranda Maverick. So it's pretty much the gist of it. And she could change my mind in this fight. This could be the fight where she comes out and looks like she did prior to her 2 losses, just beating the fuck out of literally everybody. But I think her game's kind of been figured out a little bit. And I think Maverick's going to outpoint her in there. I think she's going to be able to mix it up a lot and just be the more technical fighter.
I feel that. A couple things here. If you listen to the show before, I've said it about 10 times. My best MMA bet ever was I parlayed Conor McGregor by first round knockout over Cowboy Cerrone and what's her name to beat Roxy to beat Macy Barber. I parlayed that and I got the boost on it. So I parlayed Conor McGregor by first round finish and Roxy, who's like plus 750 or some shit. It was astronomical, dude. I went over $1,000 on a $100 bet. I was so pumped up. But another thing, I just found this because I'm at my parents' house right now. This is what the vapes used to come in, and it smells like, dude, I used to walk around when I used to walk Brody after work and just put fucking J's in here and walk around and then talk to you guys about, this is pre-podcast. Like, this is like when I was like, the podcast is just a dream. This is when I would talk to you guys. I'd be like FaceTime you guys and walking around the neighborhood, just thinking about it. And here we are, 74 episodes deep. But yeah, on that note, I do think, man, I don't know. I like Matt said, the bully method. You kind of sold me with that, Matt, because I was like, this is a total toss-up. What are the odds on this fight?
Plus 130 for Barber.
That's interesting. Yeah, because, the UFC's definitely trying, you think they're really trying to push her. Again, if you don't know, now you know. Dana said, it's her first fight back, come back from injury. Let me do a quick poll here. Out of the 3 of us, raise your hand if you truly, honestly thought Macy Barber was going to be the youngest champion in UFC history. Like, she was saying that, and I get it, and Dana liked her, and he was high on her, but, I mean, Dana was also super high on Claudia Gadelha, and Here we are. Claudia Gadelha is slow. Literally every fight she has, her ranking gets lower and lower and lower. But also, I'm just going to throw this out there before we move on. Mike was talking about Miranda Maverick. He's got a little thing for her. Claudia Gadelha is not too bad herself. But anyway, I don't know. If I had to pick, I guess Macy Barber. I feel like they're trying to promote her a little bit, even though she is the dog. But Maverick's no joke, and she's a big bitch, and I mean that in a good way. So we will see. That bully style, Matt, you really did hit the nail on the head with that. I got to give it to you.
All right, here we go. Darren Elkins, the damage. Is this his retirement fight? Didn't he talk about that?
I already changed my mind on this fight.
You did? Oh,
Yeah.
man, I'm going to stick with him. I'll go with Elkins here. I have no lean in this fight, but I'll roll with the dog here because why is Minner a favorite over anybody? He's a one-round fighter. It's nice. Yeah.
Oh, Charles Ross in that.
Oh, he's got good cardio. Yeah, it's easy to have good cardio when you're in control of the fight and you're on top of your opponent. You know what I'm saying? And Charles Rosa has proved that he's comfortable off of his back and doesn't care about standing up. So I'm not buying into that yet. I got to see it first. I'm not saying he can't beat Elkins. Elkins is, at this point in his career, a stepping stone fighter. He's a top 35, top 40 guy. And yeah, Minner has a chance here, but I'll roll with the dog here.
I keep getting every time I look at Darren Elkins' name, I still think it's 2018 and he's on like a fucking 6-fight win streak for absolutely no reason at all. And then I remember there's been like, I don't know, fucking 3 years since then. He's lost 4 fights and then he beat a guy I've never heard of. I don't know how he conjured up a fight against Volkanovski, but you obviously saw the downturn in his career. Got brutally finished by Lamas, lost to Hall, lost to Landwehr, which is embarrassing enough in itself because that guy's horrible. And then he beat a guy I never heard of. I just think he hit a quick stride, and now he's just on the back end of his career. And I wouldn't be surprised if this fight mirrored exactly what Minner did to Rosa. Just kind of grinded him out. Very similar style to Elkins, honestly. Very similar, in my opinion. I think he might just be a younger version. I mean, he's 37 years old at this point, and just think he's on the tail end here, and he's catching the guy I think he's actually on a 2-fight win streak. If someone wants to fact check him, he might just be catching him at the wrong time. Not saying I think there's anything behind him, or I think he sucks, but like definitely hungry at this point in his career, I believe.
I hear you, man. Elkins, again, shout out to MMA numbers, MMA by the numbers. I saw something. I think it's 8 or 18 strikes. Darren Elkins is away from 1,000 strikes in the octagon. He would only be like the 7th person to do it. Off the top of my head, I'm not going to be able to name 7 because I literally glanced at the stat. I was like, that's pretty cool, and scrolled. But it's got to be like GSP, Bisbing, probably Joanna, Holloway. Who else would it be? Who do you think has landed the most strikes in the UFC? Frankie Edgar's probably up there.
Maybe Jones.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know.
He's in the elite.
That's elite company right there, for sure. Yeah. But with that being said, I agree with what you're saying, Matt, with Minner here, but I just think Darren Elkins, you're not going to out cardio or out damage the damage. You know what I mean? So Minner doesn't have that style. I know Darren Elkins has that wrestling base, and he's old, like he is 37 now. This is like, I'm analyzing this fight in my head as we speak, just basically talking out loud. And I really couldn't, don't really give a shit one way or another. I'll definitely be rooting for Darren Elkins for sure. But Minner, he's got good cardio when he is controlling the fight, like Matt said. And I don't know if he will be controlling the fight against Darren Elkins, and he definitely won't be controlling the pace. So with that said, I'll ride with Elkins on this one.
Roll with the dog. All right, guys, this is a great fight here too. We got Kyler Phillips, big favorite. I think he's like -2, between -260 and -280. Going up against Halim Paiva, guy can't make 125 anymore. He's jumping up to 130.
Mike's favorite fighter.
Yeah, I listen. I think he's good. I think he's very good, and this is a massive step up for him based on who he's been fighting, and he's stepping up a weight class. So listen, I do think Kyler Phillips is going to win this fight. The hype is real. I do believe the way he beat Song Yadong was pretty fucking impressive. I'm not gonna lie. I put a little sprinkle on Halim Paiva +230. But I got to pick Kyler Phillips to win this fight. I just think the odds are a little lopsided. But I do think Kyler pulls it off.
I don't know if Matt's going to talk, but Kyler Phillips is my lock. He's my lock. That's all I need to say. That's all I need to say. I already identified it. I was looking earlier.
I couldn't stand the heck guy. I'm locking him too.
Great. Now he fucking loses. Thanks, asshole. No, Kyler Phillips is just significantly better everywhere, and he's just bigger and better. And that's it. It's bigger, better everywhere. The end. He's going to win the fight. He's my lock. And take that from the 2020 lock champion. I got to update our picks. We'll post those on.
Yeah, that's good.
I'll send you a thing. You can post on Instagram updated picks. I might be in last place, honestly, because I was cold for a little bit. I've been hot lately. We all have been hot lately, though. So
I like that we have no idea where we stand.
Yeah, I'll update. I mean, I have it on my laptop, so I just have to update it, but my Mac won't turn on. So again, sponsors, if you're listening,
please send us a couple bucks. We need.
It's literally over a decade old MacBook Pro with the memories like absolutely full. I have an external hard drive. Like, dude, I actually found this in my drawer the other day. That's what I used to connect to my Mac. So help me out.
Holy shit, man!
Isn't that crazy? Like. That's how long I've had that shit.
Dude, that's old, bro. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We come from a different era. All you new school kids don't understand. All right, guys. We got the return of Aspen Ladd.
Wow. Aspen Ladd.
ACL tear surgery coming back. Her last fight was a bad knockout loss to
obliterated.
Yeah, who was
Jermaine Durandamy?
Durandamy, yeah. And then now she's going up against Macy Chiasson, who I am not sold on at all.
No way.
No way. I am gonna pick Ladd here, but with a huge asterisk because she always has trouble with her weight cuts. She's coming back from the ACL. It's been a long time. Macy's getting a little bit better. I think she's training at she trained with Krause. I'm not sure, but anybody that trains with Krause is usually definitely levels up. I think that I think Aspen needs to do what she used to do and just bully these girls around and break them because Macy can be broken. We've seen that before. She lost to Lena Landsberg. That's really all I really have to say here. So what do you guys think here? I feel like it's minus 200. It's too steep for Ladd, but I got to pick her. Like I think Macy is not ready for what Aspen Ladd's potential performance could look like.
I'm totally with you. I think Aspen we had really high expectations for Aspen and they kind of didn't get fulfilled. But you know what? I take this back. They both had extremely high expectations, right? Like Macy went in and she had a couple of fights where we were like, holy shit. You know what I mean? And then there was a couple of fights where she just got flat out. Who was it that just flat out outlasted her and whooped her ass? I forget who it was, but it was like, it was Landsberg. Yeah, beat the shit out of her. And I was like, wow, that was surprising. I think Aspen Ladd, the ACL tear, she did get beat bad by Durandamy. And that was surprising to me, right? It was quick. It was almost debatable, but not fucking really. I think the stoppage was totally just. I just think that I still really do. Like, Mike, you hit the nail on the head with that, bro. I really think that Aspen Ladd has high expectations that are still somewhat there. She's young. And I think she can still hit her potential. Where I think Macy is a little overhyped, and people love she has a hype train. Like she's been, because I guess because some of her fights, she's been minus 1,000 in the past. I just think Aspen's better, and again has fought better competition, and is going to take this one. What are the odds on this?
Real quick, minus 200 for Ladd. Real quick, let me just rattle off their opponents. Ready? So we got Aspen Ladd, who beat Sijara Eubanks twice. Jermaine Durandamy, Yana Kunitskaya, and Landsberg she beat, right? And then we got Macy Chiasson's record, which is absolutely stunning. She beat Sarah Cupcake Mraz, Gina Mazzani, Shanna Young, Marion Renault. She beat Pani Kianzad, but that was way back on the Ultimate Fighter finale before Pani started coming along. And Marion Renault. So she's fought nobody, and I just think that there's no reason for anybody to pick Macy Chiasson. We've seen her break before. We haven't seen Ladd break before. We just saw her have a bad weight cut that knocked out. So
what are the odds?
Minus 200 for Ladd.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely just.
Yeah, I think so.
What's it called? So I'm going with Macy here.
You are
Wow.
I'm going with her because she's finished, I think, half of her fights by finish. And the odds of her to finish the fight in rounds 1, 2, and 3 are all over plus 1,000. I think that's fucking crazy considering she's 4 inches bigger, definitely hits harder. She's got like a 5-inch reach advantage. And I don't know, she's fucking nasty and she's dangerous early. So if you're going to give me plus 1,000 in every single round, I'd be an idiot not to sprinkle it, because if she's going to win, she's going to probably win by finish, in my opinion. So I'm playing odds here. Mike, you're a big advocate of playing odds. I'm playing the odds here.
Yeah, I feel that. If you think there's value, then, who am I to tell you there's not?
I don't think plus 1,000's like plus $10 on it. When what's $10 at that point?
Mm-hmm.
What does Kevin from The Office say? He's like, if anyone gives you 10,000 to 1 odds,
10,000 to 1 on anything, you take it.
What does he say? He's like, if someone wins a Grammy, I'm going to be a very rich man.
It's isn't it John Mellencamp?
John
Mellencamp.
I'll be a very rich man. Awesome.
Chris, you ready for the main event breakdown here? I want you to take it away first. We got TJ Dillashaw coming out, 2.5-year layoff, going up against the surging Corey Sandhagen. I got Corey Sandhagen already bet him at minus 167. Now it's like minus 190, minus 200. What do you think, Chris?
Dude, I just think so. Ready? Here we go. Obviously, am I biased? You tell me. This is 2015. I bought this as soon as the Reebok deal happened. This is how dinky these shirts are. It's all peeled. I don't know if you could tell on the camera, dude. Look at this. It's all peeled. I wear it to the gym, so maybe that's it. But on the back, it literally just says TJ. That's all it says. Anyway, I'm a big TJ fan. You guys know my most watched fight of all time is probably UFC 173 when he beat Brown for the first time, came back, beat Brown again, beat Soto, lost to Cruz, and then I don't need to tell you, so beat Lineker, came back, beat a Sun Sal, beat Cody, beat Cody again. Here we are, right? We're back. TJ Dillashaw won the belt, dropped to 125, popped for EPO after a brutal loss to Cejudo, may I add. But 2-year suspension. I remember I was actually driving to work, going to Newark, and TJ posted, and I had notifications on. I have notifications on for McGregor, Weidman, Nate Diaz, and TJ Dillashaw. TJ Dillashaw, I look and I just see like an essay. I'm like, this cannot be good. And I thought he was like injured, blew out his knee. Excuse me, because he moved so much. Something. Read it, EPO. I'm like, oh, well, he was relinquishing his belt. They had adverse findings in USADA. I'm like, he's not giving up his belt for a tainted supplement. He took steroids. It's very apparent what's going on here. I'm like, this sucks. Anyway, this fight now, 2 years fast forward 2 years later, TJ Dillashaw, I follow him very closely on Instagram, always past 2 years, especially. He looks to be in the exact same shape, right? He's been criticized of taking EPO by Cody before, but they tested his samples prior to that, never popped for it. And if you look at the shape he was in when he was like fighting, when he lost the finale, the Ultimate Fighter, and then his first couple fights in the UFC, and then going into the Brow fight, dude, when he won the Brow fight and his arms are just out wide, he's screaming and he's got to start crying. Every vein in his body is popping out. He's clearly aged a little bit. He's in I think he's 35. He's up there now. So, age, waits for no one. And I think now, I'm rambling, but getting into this fight, Corey Sandhagen is absolutely surging. He looks to be a beast. He took out my literal favorite fighter of all time in Frankie Edgar. So if he takes out TJ Dillashaw, I'm going to have a personal vendetta against Corey Sandhagen. Nah, I like him. He's awesome. Sandhagen is doing awesome things. I would love to see him fight for the belt. He totally deserves it. He's young. He's hot. He's doing everything right. He talks well when he does do interviews. He's kind of shy. I know he talked to a psychologist and he said, like, now his new thing is he was going into fights too calm, he said. He noticed that like Jan and Aljo and guys like that, and even Dillashaw, we're going into fights like angry, like with something like if we're going into the octagon, it's me or you. He has that mentality now, like where he used to go in and be like, this is a glorified sparring match. Like, I know how good I am at fighting. I can beat anyone and just go in there and try to do his thing. He's like, I felt like I didn't have that toughness when I lost to Aljo. I felt like I needed to go in the octagon with something to prove. Like, look at the dude across the ring and be like, look, motherfucker, it's me or you, and it's going to be me. And he has the mentality with Dillashaw. They trained together before. They know each other really well. With that being said, I do think, I know TJ is a significantly better striker, although Corey's coming into his own, flying knees and spinning heel kicks and whatnot. TJ's just soundly a better striker. He's definitely more to game plan for because he's so well-rounded. He has such a good wrestling base, like such a good wrestling base. He was an elite wrestler in high school, college, trained at Team Alpha Male. You saw what he did to John Lineker. And his stand-up is incredible too, but Corey's just younger by a lot, like 8 years younger. Surging, which you can't take that away from him, just KO'd Marlon Moraes, Frankie Edgar. Like, he's really looking spectacular. And there's just too many question marks coming around TJ, like 2-year layoff. He's 35. What's he going to look like coming back? Now he's not on steroids. Does that fuck with his head? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how confident he probably was being on EPO, but he says it didn't. And, because with this guy, Sam Calavita, he's saying that his levels of using EPO. So say his levels were here, just, when he was at 135, and then when he fought at 125, they were here, and then taking EPO got him to here, is basically what he's saying, which I guess I can understand. And I'm, again, biased, but with that being said, I'm gonna be rooting for TJ. I'm definitely not picking against him, but I think that I will say that I think the odds are totally just, but just because of all the question marks coming from TJ's side.
Maddie.
And like I said before, they know each other so well. They train together. They've been in the training room a lot, so they fucking know what's up.
Maddie, take it. You're on mute.
I'm not going to say anything that Kristen and Uri just say, so I'm going with TJ too.
So I'm one of those people that don't really care that he was on steroids because everybody's on something, to an extent. And he served his sentence. He's ready to come back. And obviously, if he loses, everyone would be like, "Oh, it was the EPO." And then if he wins, he'd be like, "No, he was fucking great all along." It's like the narrative's already been written before the result. So the thing is that I think it's a little wide, if I'm being honest, Chris. I think minus 200, minus 190 is too wide because of the wrestling factor, because if I was TJ, yeah, I've got great striking. It's elite as elite gets. I'd just be like, why would you test that against Corey when you know that you have a wrestling advantage? Like, take him down, like rough him up for maybe a round, and then when he comes out in the second round, now he's thinking about that takedown threat, and then maybe you can box him up on the feet. I think the game plan is there. So that's why I think the line is a little wide. I think it should be around minus 150, minus 160, which is where I got it at. But I wouldn't mind at all if TJ got this dub. Like, I think that he's worked his ass off during these 2 years. He knows what he is capable of. We all know what he is capable of. And if he goes out and shows us what he's capable of, then the fucking king is back, baby. And then we got new life in the division. So I'm pumped for that. But I have to pick Corey here because of all the question marks up in the air. Honestly, I don't give a shit if I lose this bet. I'm going to be rooting for TJ because of his legacy. And like I said, I don't care about the steroid thing. I'm not going to be one of those haters. I don't hate on anybody. I don't have the time or the effort to hate like all these MMA hipsters do. So let's go, TJ. Show us what you got. He definitely looks a little older. Those pictures when he was standing in the octagon, you could see a little bit of gray in his beard, but I mean, like, he's wised up. He's wised up. I consider that wise. He's getting wise like an owl. Shout out Sigma Pi. But that's it, guys. I am stoked for this fight, man. I can't wait. I'll be home on my couch with manager Lisa, watching this fight and boozing up and texting you guys. Let's get it.
Yeah, man. One thing I wanted to add to my own assessment and all you guys is as well is TJ, obviously Corey has headlined before, but but he hasn't gone 5 rounds like TJ's has gone 5 rounds. TJ's had 5-round championship level fights, right? He went 5 rounds with Dominic Cruz. He went into the 5th round with Barao at his peak. Then he stopped him. He stopped him in the 4th round at his peak as well. So he's been in those deep ass waters. He went 3 rounds with Lineker when nobody wanted to fight Lineker, and he absolutely dominated Lineker. He dominated the Sun Sao. Sorry, Matt, I really apologize. He beat the shit out of Cody Garbrandt twice. You know what I mean? When nobody wanted to fight Cody Garbrandt. And then he tried to do what nobody's done and drop down the weight and then fucked himself, you know? And dude, losing to Cejudo, I know, again, sorry, Matt, Cejudo is fucking legit as hell. So him doing that is honestly not surprising. They could have fought at 135 and the same shit could have happened. Cejudo is really fucking good, man. I'm sad to see Cejudo. Like, I wish Cejudo, he could inject life. I really think that if Figueiredo had beat Moreno, I think they might have got Cejudo back. Wow. But I don't know if Cejudo could have made 125 again, so it would have been a 135 situation. I don't know how it worked, but we'll see. And I think that if Aljo could have,
he's such a loser.
I
don't think there's any reason for him to retire. I hate him.
He's the GOAT.
He's awesome.
He's a thing.
Before we go, I got a couple things I want to ask you guys about. Logan Paul minus 200, Anderson Silva plus 160. What?
Anderson all day. I don't understand at all.
Well, I guess because Logan Paul went to the distance.
What is fucking going on,
bro? Anderson just beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and looked really good, like really good. I think that fight is like disastrous because Anderson's way bigger than Mayweather is. We're not having this conversation anyway. Next, Luke Thomas. Come on, bro. I've defended him on this podcast because I really liked him a lot when he was with MMA Fighting. Then he did his own thing with Showtime and he would do the show every Monday. And I really liked it. He was answering fan questions and he was doing I really respected him because he was literally in his living room. He got a legit camera and was doing it the right way. Then he started Morning Combat and I still support it, but like his tweets are like outlandish, bro. It's gotten to the point where like, it's bad. Like he's the one guy in MMA who he's been in MMA longer than anyone. He was doing like MMA Today in like 2007, like on TV with wearing a suit, talking to Boss Root, and like he's really been in the trenches, and he deserves a way bigger following. But his following, he only has like say like only like I would suck a dick for 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, but Ariel's got millions wherever he goes, and Luke Thomas is just bitter, negative, and condescending, and he's suffering because of it. He knows everything. He really knows everything there is to know about MMA. He's so intelligent, and I think he just hurts himself by tweeting stupid fucking shit like he does.
So should I say the tweet out loud just so that people know what we're talking about?
Yeah, that or any dude, you read his last 30 tweets out loud if you want.
Yeah, just the one that really bothered all three of us today was we're talking about the NFL. The NFL and NFLPA's agreement what to do with unvaccinated players who potentially imperil their teams is a breath of fresh air. With rare exception, the case for not getting the COVID vaccine is manufactured paranoia, and social institutions no longer need to dignify it. Like, get off your high horse. Who's paying you to say this shit? All right. Like, listen, I get it. He always says, this is my account. It's my personal account. I can say what I want, blah, 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 blah. And, I have no counter to that. But at the same time, bitter old fuck that you think you know it all. Like you said, condescending, talking down to people. It's just like, who are you, man? You are a human being. Just like
I saw him in the streets, I would just beat him up.
God. Yeah.
You guys are fucking... I hate him, dude.
Matt, it looks like you're having a bad night over there.
I hate him.
You look like
Matt, you look like you're struggling, dude.
You look like you're sweating.
I have 5 more hours of work.
Oh yeah, you got a long night.
Oh, that's brutal, dude.
Yeah, at least you don't have to get up and kick rocks for 8 hours. It's okay.
Yeah,
that's true.
All right, guys. Any last thoughts before we close out? Let's end on a high note, yo. Let's go.
AJ McKee, Patricio Pitbull, 1 week away.
As soon as that line comes out,
I can't fucking wait.
I'm taking AJ. Let's go.
I'm
betting
horny, dude. I just want AJ to win so bad. But dude, before this pod, you guys know me. I've been all over AJ McKee's train. And before the podcast, we've been doing this for a year and a half now. Like, I remember saying, like, I wanted James Gallagher and him to fight, but I think that would have been the worst thing that could ever happen for James Gallagher's career. Would have been to fight AJ McKee before either one of them had as big of a name as they do now.
Yo, speaking of which, Gallagher's fighting Patchy. I think that's a bad match for him too.
because he's a
Yeah,
grappler.
Yeah.
He's not great.
But shout out to him, dude. He takes he Bellator gives him easy matchups, and Gallagher always he's got like the O'Malley treatment where I feel like he calls for the toughest matchups and gets fed like meatballs that he just hits out of the park. Aside from Ricky Bandejas, but where he was the meatball that got hit out of the park, but or punted out of the stadium, I should say. But anyway, he calls for tough fights, bro. He's been dying to fight AJ McKee. Although the sketchy thing was, I'll just add this in there. Them two are going back and forth, calling each other pussies, like hating on each other, like any chance they got, any interview they got, they were calling each other out, doing the whole thing. And then Ariel Helwani went to his first Bellator fight and got a fucking video, and they walk up to each other and like dap each other up and like sit next to each other at the fight, like friendly as fuck. I was like, dude, I hate you guys. You guys had me fucking fooled. You know what I mean? And good for them. More power to them. But both of them are the Patchy and Gallagher fight. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Really excited for that. I mean, Patchy's definitely going to be the favorite going to that fight, but
yeah, I think Gallagher can definitely win that though, because we've seen Patchy like kind of not show up sometimes, so like I'll be definitely rooting for Gallagher in that fight.
Me too, bro. Me fucking too. But yeah, moral of the story, AJ McKee, Patricio Pitbull. Like, honestly, I've never been more excited for a fight in Bellator. And you know me, I'm Chrissy fucking Bellator, boys. I've never been except more this excited for a fight in Bellator. I'm trying to think, like, no, dude, this is it. Like, this is the fight. This is the fucking fight. This is good. Like, we're really going to see how good AJ McKee is. And this is the fucking fight. This is because he's had shown no signs of slowing down, dude. He's legit. He is legit. Like he would contend in the UFC. Like he wouldn't be champion in the UFC, but he would be fucking up there. Definitely in the top 5. Definitely in the top 10. Potential top, anything happens MMA top. He knocked out Michael Chandler at 155. So shit happens at 145. We'll see. But anyways, I'll leave you guys with that. Next week, I'll come in firing for the Bellator card. And we'll have a lot for you. Just like we always say, MMA World never sleeps. This weekend, we'll never be sleeping. It's like I said earlier, it's like a chore. My heart's going to be racing tomorrow from 4 to whenever the fucking card ends, because the main event, one of my favorite fighters, as usual. Here we go again.
Let's go, Brendan Allen. Let's go, Elise Reed. Let's go, TJ Dillashaw. See y'all next week.